Hello, fifth grade. Today is Monday, November 30th, the last day of November. Today we got our new spelling list, and speaking of new spelling lists, fifth grade, I think either of you are yellow. We got our new spelling list, and we reviewed our 4 big idea vocab words, and we got some new vocab words before we started reading eruption, which is found in your My Book. So right now you are writing down in your spiral notebook new spelling words. Write that down. Pause me if you need to. The second thing you are writing down that we did today is vocabulary words for eruption. And then we started reading eruption in the My Book. So you need to write those 3 things down in your spiral notebook, and today's date is 11-30. You need to do this every day so you know what's going on, and you don't have to look back at videos this way. You just take notes as you watch a video. If you need to slow me down, you just pause me. If you need to rewind, you can do that too. So, that being said, I believe this will be Ember's list. And then let me get Melina's, and I will share your documents to both of you right now. 5th grade orange, 5th grade red. Okay. Here we go. So, Miss Melina, yours is up first here. We have red. You have vowel plus R sounds in your spelling list. I think I did hand out a word sort paper that looks like this to the students. You can just write yours on a spiral notebook. I need you to write the words and not type them. That way your hand's getting used to the actual using your fine motor to write, not just type. There are sometimes I ask you to do things because it's easier for me to read it quickly through an email or through sharing a Google Doc, but when it comes to your spelling words, I do like you to handwrite them, also because then you're not having the computer spell check for you. I want you to be focused on you doing the right spelling. So, Miss Melina, with week 12, we sorted these words out into the yellow words are R, like a pirate sounds. Let's see if I can make it bigger. So like spark, scarf, sharp, alarm, and harsh are all of our R words. So those would be sorted into one column. And then all of the blue words, prepare. This word can be said tear. So we highlighted it orange if it was going to be tear, or tear, like if you tear paper. And so that's why we have it in blue as well. So prepare, tear, scare, repair, scarce. You hear the air in all of these words. Spare, hairy, compare, upstairs, and square are all the blue words. And then the orange words all say ear, cheer, tear, earring, weird. Weird is a weird spelling too. This is a word that I'm 41 and I always have to second guess myself because I think it should be I before E except after C, and unless it says A in the word, and this says ear. So it's just a stinker word you have to memorize. It's W-E-I-R-D. And then you have rear and gear. And we had a student who said, hey, can we have horse? And I was like, sure, if you want a bonus word horse, I'll throw it in. It does not follow any of these sounds, but it is a vowel plus an R for the or sound. So we stuck it in there. And then Miss Ember, let me get back to my split screen. You have, your orange words have a vowel, consonant, consonant, vowel. And remember that when we are splitting our syllables for two-syllable words, we split between the two consonants. And so when you're going through these words like bargain, journey, pattern, arrive, when you handwrite them, I would like you to please, I have lots of them. I don't know why that's not there. Get rid of it. No, I can't. Anyway, you're going to handwrite the word bargain, and when you do that, I would like you to split the syllables. And so when I look at the picture of yours, I'm going to see slashes or backslashes, whatever you call them, in all of your words. And when we go to journey, I see two vowels, two consonants, and another vowel. So remember, I'm always going to split between those two consonants. And if you're looking for how do I sort these, if they're all the same and all I'm doing is splitting the words, well, how do I sort them? Well, you just write them all once. If you want to sort them into two categories, you could do words that have, like bargain and journey, the consonants don't match, but if you look at pattern, it's a double T. So if you want to do the double letter ones like suppose and have those be in a category, you could certainly do that. Otherwise, I'm not as worried about you putting them into two separate groups, like you know, 2 or 3 groups. You don't necessarily have to do that for these because all of them are getting broken. It looks like I have somebody on here right now. Looks like Miss Ember's already checking it out. So, good for you, Miss Ember. I'm going to undo all of this stuff so it's not a mess. And let me see, did I already share it to, I already shared it to that group. So, I do need to share this one to Melina. There we go. So you guys are both have access to your spelling now. The next thing we did was, we also made sure we knew where this packet is. You're going to be needing this coming up this week and next week and the following week. My goal is to have it done before the end of the semester. So, to review from last week, let me make this bigger so you can see it. Your first word from last week was spontaneous, and this is a word that's going to maybe come up more than once as you are reading about natural disasters. If you'll recall, we've been coming up with questions for volcanic eruptions, earthquakes, hurricanes, and maybe tornadoes. I'm trying to look at my paper over there. So spontaneous is your first word, and it is something that happens naturally and it isn't planned. So you just all of a sudden decide to do something like jump in the lake. Your next word is a tremor. And we have a picture of maybe an earthquake. A small tremor caused these things to roll onto the floor. A tremor can be used to describe a small earthquake, or it could be a shaking, a small shaking in your hand could have a tremor. You could have a tremor in your voice if you're about to cry, but you're trying not to and it gets a little shaky. Your next word is hazard, and we said a hazard is something that is dangerous. It is a danger. And then the last word that you already had was notable, and this is a notable hurricane here. If something is notable, it is worth noticing. So sometimes there are storms that are happening kind of out in the ocean that aren't going to make landfall, and so you don't hear about them as much on the news. They are not as notable. And then we are going to be reading, starts on page 182 and 183. It's called Eruption, Volcanoes, and the Science of Saving Lives. And here are the vocab words that you're going to be coming across. Victim. If you fall victim to something, you suffer or die because of it. So you might be a victim of too much homework, which means you lay on the couch and your brain is zapped because you've worked too hard. Or if somebody gets in an accident, they could be a victim of a car crash or something, and it could be death, or it could just be suffering because of it. Your next word is alarming. Something that is alarming makes you worry that something bad may happen. So I had an alarming amount of emails, alarming number of emails this morning when I woke up. I wasn't worried something bad was going to happen though, but it might just be kind of surprising or make your eyes bug out a little. Your next word is widespread, and this is a picture showing ash from a volcano. That these houses weren't ruined because of the lava, they were covered in volcanic ash. So if something is widespread, it happens over a large area or among a lot of people, and you can see this was widespread because it covered the town. There we go. Next one is a consequence. Consequences are the outcomes or effects of events. And here you have a poor kid who didn't get up and get moving fast enough, so the consequences of being late were that the store had already closed. He should have been quicker. Have to suffer the consequences. And the next word is conferring. This picture looks like there's a couple people talking about a document that they're both looking at. Conferring with someone is discussing an idea or trying to make a decision. And these two people are conferring about a plan that they're going to put into action. And then you have a reservoir. It's a place where a supply of something is collected, and this one is a water reservoir. You may have heard of the word reserve. I have lots of reserves, or somebody may want to reserve a seat. It's like to hold it. So a reservoir is a place to hold extra of something, so holding extra water in that picture. Evacuation is another important word in what you'll be reading, and it is the act of moving from a dangerous area to a safer one. And so the governor ordered an evacuation of their city, so they took off in their car after packing everything up. And your last word that's going to come up in this reading is a seismograph. Seismographs. These are instruments that measure and record details about earthquakes, such as their strength and how long they last. Now, the joke was, oh, it's an instrument. It's not like a saxophone instrument. It is a tool that scientists use to help them figure out if an earthquake had a high magnitude, and helps them kind of figure out if anything else bad is going to come of it. Looks like I got about another minute. On page 182, we just read about what a narrative nonfiction is. And it's just basically the author is telling events in the order that they happen. It says it's chronological or sequential. And let's see, in this one we kind of page through. It's written a little bit like a journal. There are dates. And this person it's a true story, telling the story about when they were he was a volcanologist, I believe, and what happened when they were trying to figure out if a volcano was going to erupt or not. And then we just turn the page to 184, and your assignment is to read that page, and only that page. So read that part at the top, and then read that part at the bottom. So, and then we highlighted any words we don't know. And I would just like you to email me any words you don't know from page 184 or you weren't able to figure out after using context clues. And that's it. So, your homework is to study your words. Make sure you send me an email sometime tomorrow with a picture of your word sort on it that you've handwritten, and read page 184. Bye!